Imagine the bacteria entering the body of a human being. Now, this bacteria is not part of the body system of that human, and the body system does not recognize it. It recognizes the bacteria as a foreign agent. Now, this bacteria is actually called antigen. Now, the body of this human being actually produce chemical that will fight this foreign body because the body does not recognize this bacteria as part of itself. Now, what the body produce to fight this bacteria is called what? Antibodies. Another illustration of this is the criminal and the police. Now, imagine a criminal breaking into a home. Now, the criminal is actually the antigen. He's not supposed to be in that home, but he's there now. So he's an antigen. Now, in response to this criminal being in a home, the society creates an antibody called police. Now, the police will now eventually come in because there's already a foreign body in that house. So the police is actually what? The antibody. So we can define antigen as substance that stimulates immune response. The immune response is actually to produce the antibodies. So antigens are foreign substance that stimulate or ensure that the body what produce what immune response. Why antibody is a specialized protein produced by the immune system to identify and neutralize harmful substances such as bacteria. In today's class, we'll be talking about the antigens. Now, antigens are any foreign substance that can stimulate the body immune response to produce antibody or activate immune cells. Antigens are usually protein or polysaccharide present on the surface of microorganisms such as bacteria, virus, fungi, and others. Now, note that the presence of this substance makes the body to recognize this organism as a foreign agent. Since the presence of antigen generates antibody, antigens are sometimes called antibody generator, and they are any molecule or molecular fragment that can be recognized by the immune system, specifically the B cells receptors or the T cell receptors. Examples of antigen include bacterial toxin, viral protein, polygreen, blood group protein, and even foreign tissues. Let's talk about the characteristics of antigen. Now, antigen are actually foreign bodies. They must be recognized as foreign bodies or non-self by the immune system. Now, two, they must possess high molecular weight. The larger the molecule, the more antigenic they become. Molecules above 10,000 atoms are usually effective antigens. The third characteristic is that antigens are chemically complex. The more complex a substance is, actually, the more easier it is for the body for the immune system to actually recognize it as a foreign body, and the stronger the response. For example, the immune system may respond more strongly to a substance with different parts, substances that have complex shape or even large structure. Proteins are the strongest antigens, while polysaccharides are moderately antigenic, while lipid and nucleic acid are weak unless combined with protein. Antigens are specific. They contain certain region called the epitome. It is actually this region that the body recognizes to produce antibody. And lastly, for a substance to be called an antigen, it must have the ability to induce immune response. Let's talk about the structure of antigen. Now, an antigen contains epitome. This is the specific part recognized by the T receptors or the B receptor cell, and it has a carrier molecule, the larger molecule that helps to stimulate immunity. Now, take a look at this diagram. Take a look at the antigen. Now, take a look at the epitome. You will notice that this epitome is the part that is recognized by the B cell, while the larger part is also part of the antigen. Antigen can be classified or divided into types based on their origin and based on their immunological response. Based on their origin, they can be termed exogenous antigen, which means that they enter the body from the outside. Example is bacteria, virus, toxin, and all that. And we also have endogenous antigen, which means they are produced within the cells. Example is viral protein in infected cells. We also have the autoantigen, the self-antigen attacked in autoimmune diseases. Based on immunological response, they can be classified into complete antigen, which means that they can stimulate antibody production independently, and incomplete antigen or haptens. Haptens become antigenic only when attached to a carrier protein. Let's talk about the role of antigen. They are actually important in vaccine production. Vaccine actually contain weakened or dead antigen that stimulates immunity. Example is actually the polio vaccine. Antigen is also used in diagnosis of diseases. It's actually used in ELISA tests, wider tests, and rapid diagnostic kits. In general, the application of antigen include immunization, serological diagnosis, cancer immunotherapy, organ transplantation, and allergy testing. Let's talk about major histocompatibility complex. Now, the MHC molecule presents antigen to the white blood cell, and they are actually of two types. MHC class 1, which is found in all cells that have nucleus in the body, such as the skin cells, the liver cells, or even the muscle cells. The MHC class 1 shows endogenous antigen or protein made inside the cell. In other words, it presents endogenous antigen. For example, imagine a virus entering a cell and using the cell's mechanism to make protein within the cell. Now, the MHC class 1 pick up the pieces of this protein and display it in the cell membrane of this cell. Now, the lymphocytes or the white blood cells identified this antigen as a foreign body and destroy the cell because it realized that the cell is actually infected. The MHC class 2 is found only in special immune cells called the antigen presenting cells, such as the macrophage, dendritic cell, and the B cells. They actually attack exogenous antigens. That means antigens that come from outside the body, such as the bacteria and all that. So this is the end of the lesson. Thank you for watching.